Hello and welcome. In this lesson, we are going to decode one of the most important skills in IGCSE Business Studies, AO2 application. Many students know the theory. They can define cash flow, explain marketing, describe business plans, and list the advantages of training. But in the exam, knowing theory is not always enough. To earn strong marks, you must show application. Especially in Paper 2, you must show that you can apply your knowledge to the specific business in the case study. That is what AO2 is all about. In this session, I will show you how to avoid generic answers, extract useful evidence, and build answers that are exam ready. By the end, you should have a clear blueprint for turning business theory into application marks. Let us begin with a common problem. Many students write answers that are technically correct but still lose marks. For example, a student might write a brilliant textbook explanation of cash flow or business plans. The theory may be accurate. The definitions may be correct and the explanation may sound intelligent, but if it could apply to any business, it is not applied. In a 12-mark Paper 2 question, an answer with limited application can be capped at a low mark, even if the theory is good. That means you can lose a huge amount of your potential score simply because you did not use the specific context in front of you. The key lesson is this: do not just show that you know the theory. Show that you understand this business in this situation. Show the examiner that you understand this business in this situation facing this problem. AO2 application is not a small extra skill. It accounts for around 20% of the total grade across Paper 1 and Paper 2. That is a major part of your exam performance. Application means using facts, terms, and concepts in a specific business situation. So when you write an answer, the question is not only, do I know the business theory? The real question is, can I use the theory to explain what is happening in this particular case? Every point must live inside the reality of the case study. If the case is about a bakery, your answer should feel like it belongs to that bakery. If the case is about a gym, your answer should feel like it belongs to that gym. If the case is about a mining company closing mines, your answer should reflect that specific business reality. That is the difference between knowledge and application. This is one of the most important mindset shifts. Do not think like a textbook. Think like a consultant. A textbook mindset asks, what is the definition of cash flow? That might help you with basic knowledge marks. But an AO2 mindset asks, why does this specific business need cash? For example, why does this bakery need cash to pay its 15 bakers next week? That question immediately forces you to use the case. You are no longer writing general theory. You are solving a specific business problem. Your job in Paper 2 is not simply to recite facts to the examiner. Your job is to solve the problem of the business described in the insert. So, whenever you are answering a question, imagine the business owner is sitting in front of you asking for advice. You are not a student repeating notes. You are a consultant using business knowledge to help a real organization. That is the mindset you need. So how do we apply properly? We need to extract evidence from the case. A simple method is to look for 3 evidence buckets. Bucket 1 is identity. Who are they? Are they a sole trader, a private limited company, a multinational, a brand name business, or a startup? This matters because the type of business affects its objectives, finance, risk, decision-making, and growth options. Bucket 2 is data. What are their numbers? Look for sales figures, costs, wages, number of employees, finance amounts, market share, prices, output, profit, or appendix figures. Data is extremely powerful because it allows you to prove your points. Bucket 3 is situation. What is their reality? Are they in a competitive market? Are they facing recession? Are they closing factories? Are they launching a new product? Are they using new technology? Are customers changing? This is where the business problem becomes real. When you combine identity, data, and situation, your answers become much more specific, relevant, and applied. Let us take an example. The case says, UDIG is a large mining company in the private sector. It plans to close 2 of the mines. This will threaten 1,800 employees with redundancy. From this short extract, we can already pull out 3 useful pieces of evidence. First, the identity, UDIG is a private sector mining company. Second, the data. It has 1,800 employees affected and it plans to close 2 mines. Third, the situation, there is a threat of redundancy. Now, imagine the question asks about the importance of communication, motivation, cash flow, decision-making, or stakeholder reactions. You now have evidence to use. Instead of saying, employees may be worried, you can say, UDIG's 1,800 employees may be worried about redundancy because the business plans to close 2 mines. That is much stronger. It proves that you are not writing a memorized answer. You are using the case. Now let us look at the difference between a generic answer and an applied answer. The question is, why is cash flow forecasting important? A generic answer might say, to ensure there is sufficient cash to pay day-to-day expenses. That is true, but it is not applied. It could apply to a restaurant, a farm, a supermarket, or any other business. Now compare that with an applied answer. To ensure there is sufficient cash from theater performances to pay for costs such as buying costumes. This answer is much better because it injects the reality of the theater business. It mentions theater performances. It mentions costumes. It connects the concept of cash flow forecasting to the specific activities and costs of the business. That is what the examiner wants to see. Application is not about adding lots of words. It is about adding the right case details. Here is another example. The question is, how could a business plan help Peter set up Value Gym? A generic answer might say, to identify the human resources needed for the business. Again, this is correct, but it is not sufficiently applied. It could apply to any business. Now look at the applied version. To identify the human resources needed to provide sports therapies and haircuts at Value Gym. This is much stronger. Why? Because it uses the specific services offered by the business. It shows that the student has read the case and understands what Value Gym actually does. The phrase sports therapies and haircuts transforms a generic point into an applied point. So remember this, a small piece of specific evidence can completely change the quality of your answer. Now we need to turn evidence into a strong paragraph. A useful structure is PEAL. P stands for point. This is where you state your main argument using AO1 knowledge. For example, cash flow forecasting can help the business plan future payments. E stands for explain. This is where you develop the business theory behind your point. For example, it helps the business estimate expected inflows and outflows so it can avoid running out of cash. The second E stands for evidence or apply. This is the crucial AO2 step. Here, you inject specific details from the case, identity, data, or situation. For example, this is important for the theater because it needs enough cash from performances to buy costumes before shows take place. Finally, L stands for link. This is where you connect the point back to the question. For example, therefore, cash flow forecasting helps the theater manage its short-term financial needs more effectively. The key part is the interlock between theory and case reality. AO1 gives the business idea. AO2 proves that the idea works in this specific case. AO1 gives the business idea. AO2 proves that the idea works in this specific case. Data is for evidence, not decoration. Many students make another mistake. They copy numbers from the case without doing anything with them. For example, they might write, Appendix 2 says wages are $60. That is not analysis. That is just copying. The examiner has already seen the insert. You do not earn strong marks by repeating numbers without processing them. Instead, you need to use the numbers as evidence. For example, because wages are $60 and the price is $5, the business needs 12 customers to cover the wage cost. Now you are doing something useful with the data. You are calculating. You are interpreting. You are showing how the number affects the business decision. This is a very important exam skill. Do not decorate your answer with data. Use data as evidence. Calculate margins, ratios, differences, totals, or customer numbers where possible. Show the examiner that the data helps solve the business problem. Process the numbers, calculate margins or ratios, show the examiner that the data helps solve the problem. Another common mistake is what we can call the name drop fallacy. This is when a student thinks they have applied their answer simply by mentioning the name of the business. For example, Chocolate Delight needs a new website to increase sales. This sounds applied because it uses the business name. But according to the logic of the mark scheme, simply stating the name of the business or person from the case is not enough. True application means referring to something unique about the business. For example, what is the product? Are they selling chocolate bars? What is their financial state? Do they have $5 million finance available? What is their market position? Are they struggling to compete? Are they expanding? Are they targeting a new customer segment? So instead of just writing, Chocolate Delight needs a new website to increase sales, a more applied answer would be, Chocolate Delight may need a new website to increase online sales of its chocolate bars, especially if it wants to reach customers beyond its existing local market. That is more specific. Remember, using the business name is not enough. You need to use the business reality. Simply stating the name Chocolate Delight is not enough. True application means referring to something unique about the business. For example, what is the product? Are they selling chocolate bars? What is their financial state? Do they have $5 million finance available? What is their market position? Are they struggling to compete? Are they expanding? Are they targeting a new customer segment? Instead of just writing, Chocolate Delight needs a new website to increase sales, a more applied answer would be, Chocolate Delight may need a new website to increase online sales of its chocolate bars, especially if it wants to reach customers beyond its existing local market. That is more specific. Remember, using the business name is not enough. You need to use the business reality. So what should you do in the exam? Here is a simple 4-step blueprint. Step 1, read the insert. As you read, highlight identity, data, and situation clues. Ask yourself, who is the business? What numbers are given? What problem or opportunity are they facing? Step 2, read the question. Identify the command word. Are you being asked to calculate, explain, analyze, recommend, justify, or evaluate? The command word tells you what type of answer is needed. Step 3, match evidence. Choose 2 or 3 specific case details that directly help answer the question. Do not use random evidence. Use evidence that solves the problem being asked. Step 4, build the peel paragraph. Combine your textbook knowledge with your case evidence. Make a point. Explain the theory, apply it using specific evidence. Then link it back to the question. This is how you move from a general answer to an exam-ready applied answer. Step 1, read the insert and highlight clues. Step 2, read the question and identify the command word. Step 3, match evidence that directly helps. Step 4, build the peel paragraph. That's how you move to exam-ready answers. Let us finish with the big idea. The exam is not just about what you memorized, it is about how you use what you know in the real world of the case study. So stop reciting, start solving, read the case carefully, extract the evidence, use the business name, but do not stop there. Use the product, the numbers, the market, the problem, the financial position, and the situation. Think like a consultant. Write like someone who understands the business. That is how you master the case and ace the paper. So stop reciting, start solving, read carefully, extract evidence, and think like a consultant. Write like someone who understands the business. That is how you master the case and ace the paper. Good luck.